All right, call to order the Springboro Board of Education meeting for Thursday, August 22nd, 2019. Roll call.
Stuckey.
Here.
Anderson.
Here.
Here. Palage.
Here.
Good.
Okay. You guys here for the board meeting?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
There's some seats over on the side as well. Start by apologizing to our guests this evening. We caught that this meeting was scheduled in January. Was at this location. Normally we meet at the high school where there's a little bit more room, but we caught it too late before I thought to move it. So just so everybody knows, we will be changing the location of, I think we have 2 other meetings that are scheduled to be here for the remainder of the year, that we'll move them back to the high school. We had moved them here in January to do more work session items related to the strategic planning process. And again, apologize that we neglected to get this moved over there, but we felt that at the last minute we didn't want to throw anybody for a loop. So sorry for the closed quarters. So we'll go to item 1.2, adoption of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second. Any discussion?
Stuckey.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Yes. Palage.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Okay, item 1.3, approval of the August 8th, 2019 meeting minutes. Is there a motion to approve?
Second.
Any discussion?
Stuckey.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Yes. Palage.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Item 1.4, approval of the August 16th, 2019 special meeting minutes. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Stuckey.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Yes. Palage.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Okay, we'll move into public participation and introduction of guests. Item 2.1, the Springboro Education Association report. I believe we have anybody. Item 2.2, the Springboro Classified Employees Association report. Okay. We have somebody prearranged. This is
That's me.
Okay, so just to recap, yeah, I think we generally do like 3 minutes.
Okay.
And then if you could state your name and address.
Sure.
And then, just so everybody's, the board typically doesn't respond, just because we haven't had a chance to consider whatever is being spoken about. And then again, we have to refrain from naming any individuals or specific employees by
Okay.
title. So, with that said,
And this-
this is cool. Yeah, you can stand up.
So I'm Sharon Kolb, I'm a Springboro parent. I'm concerned about transportation this year. And basically my concerns are twofold. And I say this with the understanding that it's new in the year. Bus routes are, seating assignments are still changing and I get that. But what I'm seeing this year that's completely different from previous years is safety. So now I've got 2 children on the 6th through 12th grade bus. And there are so many children seated per bench. I think the way that the seating assignments are devised is that there's 3 per bench automatically in hopes that students have after school activities or they get rides in the morning or what have you. And so what we're seeing is that like my girls are the first ones to get off in the afternoon. So they are like literally, they have inches and they're kind of into the aisle, which is unsafe and which goes against NHTSA regulations as well as Ohio regulations. And so I just kind of did a little research. I've got my talking points here, but basically what I'm reading is that the 3 students per bench is for, it spells out smaller elementary school age persons. 2 adult size persons is for, high schoolers. And if you've seen the size of 6th graders these days, some of them are actually bigger than high schoolers. So I'm here just to kindly request that going forward, when these routes are devised and we're looking at how many students are going to be allocated per bus, if there's a way to look at that where it's 2 per bench instead of 3. I realize by saying this may increase number of buses. I realize realize by saying that, there's money behind that, and we'll get to that point, okay? So that's my first concern. My second concern is bus drivers. We know Springboro is growing as a community. We know new subdivisions are popping up. We know that homes can be built in a matter of months. And, right now, we don't have a crisis yet, but we have minimal drivers. Sub-drivers, minimal, maybe one or two. It's hard to recruit bus drivers in Springboro because we're simply stated, we're the lowest paying district in the region. So I gotta think, if I'm a bus driver and you to deal with all the usuals, the students, the parents and weather and traffic, okay, what's gonna make me wanna work in Springboro? I would think the money. I mean, I would go where the money is. Okay, so again, I know we're talking about money, yes. So just trying to put it out there, because this is my first time at a board meeting, but I know that next year is an election year, and so things could possibly get on the ballot. What can we do to get bus driver wages increased? And forward thinking, to accommodate these new routes, these new students coming from new subdivisions. Thank you.
I'm new to the bus driver dilemma this year as the Assistant Superintendent of Operations, but I've walked hip to hip with Michelle, our supervisor, going on all the routes and learning the whole thing, and we are truly running on a shoestring. We are. We have 46 buses to get our 6,000 students here quickly in 3 hours and safely. We know that this is truly a top priority.
Okay, so let me just, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna snap one more time. So I'm sure you get parents coming in here, first saying, vocalizing their opinions and problems, but why I'm really here, and I didn't say this, so that I just wanna help, and I don't know if the board is open to creating a special task committee, and how the group would be, who would be assigned to this, but put my name down, because I would love to be part of that and look at that from a different perspective. Because I think that it needs to be looked at somehow. So I'm a voter. I would like to see something wonderful happen next year. So please let me know what I can do. Okay? Thank you.
I think that was it for public participation prearranged. Is there any public participation on any other agenda items? Okay. We will move into the work session. So item 3.2, this is the lead driver modification calendar. Assessor?
Which is a good piggyback. I'm requesting the board to consider that our lead driver, Ms. Sasha, who is currently at a 206-day contract, be given a 230-day contract because, as I said, I learned this summer that our transportation office is a full year-round transportation office. We have camps, band, ROTC, Safety Town, summer school, students that are required by us to be transported year-round to their school, and we need constant coverage in that office. There were times this summer that we really had to be creative so that somebody was down there to route our buses and to be there for safety concerns.
So would she be an actual driver, or would she be a scheduler, or what is
She's
her
our
role with
dispatch.
that?
There are days when we have no subs that she has to
So
drive.
she can fill into that role, like even in the summertime if need be,
If need be, yes.
but her role is not that as a driver, like the description lead driver, that doesn't mean that the role as a driver, it means it's like more of an over scheduler and
And she's
oversight.
dispatch, and she's, because all of our drivers have radios, and so she's that person that
Gotcha,
I'll call into.
okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So it's go to a 2:30 and then give her, she's at a step 8 to a step 10. Because she gets in at 5:30 in the morning, and lately she hasn't been leaving till 6 o'clock at night because of all of our routes.
So do we have somebody like on dispatch, like for, like if a team is out, do we have somebody that's available if there's an issue, or how does that work? Do we have like a dispatch that's on call or something?
It's always
That's
Kathy and
that's
Michelle,
her.
and then we have Liz, who isn't CDL certified, so she's always in the office.
Let's look around us.
the incremental cost for this change?
I think I totaled it up. It was about 7,000, I think, so I think the exact total is, the step 8 to step 10, I think was, I don't think I have it.
We were looking at step two, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I can get you the exact number.
Okay, any other questions? Item 3.3, committee reports.
Actually, I did have the fit team, I don't know that it's on here, so I didn't add it, but we did have the fit team yesterday. And I think we have a tentative, again, we went over like I said last time in the last meeting that we had, we went over all the different options that we're looking at for our January 20 renewal. And yesterday we went over our top 3 as well as our current, if we were to do nothing, what we would have, as well as the 3 options that the government Brave Vendor prepared for us as they went out to market. And pending the association's approval, as well as talking with the board later, we do have an option that I think will work, and that will work for everyone. So it was a good meeting, it was very productive and a good outcome.
Any other committee reports? We have, I think we can. Any discussion of other business? Okay, we'll move Ms. Floyd to your section.
Okay, tonight we have a few different donations for the Trotwood Tornado Relief fundraising that we've been doing. And then we also have another item that I'll get to in a minute. But the first one is approval of a donation of $250 from the New Spring Church Assembly of God for the Five Points Elementary School. That one is not about the tornado relief. That was for some summer activities that they did, for doing some cleaning up around the church, and then they decided to also donate some money. 4.2, approval of a donation of $2,000 from the Optimist Club for the Springboro, for Springboro to the Trotwood fundraising for the tornado. Also approval of a donation of $10,000 from the Church of Christ United Methodist Church for Trotwood tornado relief fundraiser as well. And then just recently, you guys might not have seen this one, but this afternoon, Kyle and Austin called me, and they also received a call from the Trotwood Lowe's, and they would like to donate a $289 grill. It might actually already be here as of this evening,
It is.
but a $289 value grill that we'll be able to auction off tomorrow at the Jamboree game versus Butler for the tornado relief as well. So those are the donation pieces, and then we also have the appointment of the delegate and alternate delegate for the capital conference. And then 4.6 will be approval of all of those items.
When do we discuss the appointment?
After we do,
Oh, yeah.
we'll do the motion in a second, and then we'll
Okay,
talk about the fundraisers and.
Got it. Okay, so item 4.6 seeks the approval of 4.1 through 4.5. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Sure. To give a little bit of an update on the Trotwood project, I was able to meet with Ella from Trotwood this week, and they've had some transitions there, and so they really have just come up to speed with all that Springboro is doing, and to say that they are blown away is an understatement. So I want to first off thank Steve Rudisall with the Christ Church United Methodist. We really wanted to have a phase 1 of donations, and we couldn't have the school kick off and do donations until school was in session. So we reached out to the church community and to the Optimist Club and asked for some donations to help the displaced students make sure they had uniforms when the school year got started. And Christ Church really stepped up with a $10,000 donation and $2,000 donation from the Optimist Club. So thank you, Steve, for your leadership there. They truly were speechless. So today I also received a call from their school board president, and she just said, we really don't even know what to do with this. So they do want to do some more connections with Springboro, and they said, one of the things that Ella had shared with me initially, she said, this is not about need, this is not about greed, this is about need, because there has been so much need in Trotwood, even before the storms, that even those that there was 226 kids that are displaced, and they're doing amazing things. This is like a big family in Trotwood to bring those students back in district and figuring out alternate transportation. I mean, they're just doing amazing, amazing things there. But she said there's so many children that are in great need already. So to have this as a bucket of funds that are available for them, and maybe it's used up this year, whatever we're able to raise, maybe it's sitting there ready for next year for other students that are in need. So they're just incredibly thankful. And they said, Denise, their school board president, said, we got out on your website, and my board members were calling saying, you gotta go out there. Like, they have, like, in elementary, they're doing like, bring $1 and you get to chew gum. And they're having this thing at their 6th grade building that you get to play games and throw basketball against your principal or whatever it is. And she said, seriously, Lisa, we're gonna like take some ideas from you and we're gonna implement some things in our own district. So just to hear that way that we're gonna be able to share some stuff and share with our students the importance of taking care of another community, but what this is doing to this community, they truly were speechless and appreciative. So Steve and your church, thank you for stepping
We're
up
blessed to be a blessing.
right away to them. It just was a huge blessing to them, and to all of the administration and teachers that had just jumped right in. I mean, once it popped up on the website, and it was amazing, amazing what you guys have done and just pulled together for this. So it's really meaning the world to them, and is really, I think, just encourage them in a huge, huge way to just give them that punch to keep moving forward. So they are going to be inviting people that have come alongside them to like a family reunion, I think is what they're calling it, something like that at the end of September. She's gonna give us information that they would like to invite our community as we've come alongside them, but people that have come alongside this, the city of Trotwood and the schools. So thank you to everybody that has given so much, and to Steve and your church.
When we give you Kickstart, you guys will take it from
Well,
there.
that you did.
Thank you very much. So now to the fun one, on the appointment of a delegate and alternate delegate for the annual business meeting at the OSB Capital Conference.
How long has it been since you've done it?
I don't remember who did it last year.
I did.
You
Okay.
did? Are you gonna be there? Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it. I think I was back up last year, but I didn't have to do it. I'll do it.
Okay, I guess it's the alternate.
Okay.
That's fine.
I'm pretty reliable.
Thank you for taking one for the team. All right, so with that, is there any more discussion? Okay,
Okay, Stuckey?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Bab?
Yes.
Palage?
yes. Okay, we move into the interim superintendent's report.
I'd like to present 5.1, which is the personnel report for August. Pretty cut and dry. I will say that our mechanic from the bus garage is leaving us for a better job at Peterman. Yeah, for more pay. So that was a hit.
So is that posted?
It is posted, yes.
How long has he been with the district?
5 years.
So that's when we need to vote on separate. We're gonna vote on that one separate because then we have, the camps and athletics.
Okay, got it. All right, is there a motion to approve item 5.1?
So moved. Second.
Discussion?
Stuckey?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Bab?
Yes.
Palage?
Yes.
Goods?
Yes.
So I'd like to present 5.2 and then 5.3. 5.2 is our athletic report for August, just two approvals for supplemental. And then the 5.3 is the camp spreadsheet that you see all summer long.
Okay, item 5.4 seeks the approval of 5.2 and 5.3. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Any discussion?
Anderson?
Yes.
Bab?
Yes.
Palage?
Yes.
Goods?
Yes.
Stuckey?
Abstain.
Thank you.
Item 6.1. Is this also you, Ms. Hester? Or who's doing this one? Oh, Rob, that's right.
Hey, all right.
Who's doing this one?
Good evening, everybody. So this is a big contract for us. This is another 3-year HVAC preventative maintenance and just pure maintenance contract that we are going into with your approval with Peck, Hannaford, and Briggs. So we had 7 companies do the RFP. They came in at the lowest. We've had them for the last 3 years. It's about an increase of $28,000, but instead of getting a 90% employee, we're getting a full-time employee. So it's broken into mechanical and controls. So Peck, Hannaford, and Briggs is doing the mechanical portion, and then they are subcontracting MCOR to do the controls portion of it, which is exactly the same setup as we currently have. Now, there is additional costs on top of that for, if they have to call somebody in, so there is additional costs, but that's at an ad hoc level. So they came in at $570,000 for a 3-year contract. There is a 4 and a 5 year as well, if we want to execute on that, but we're going to keep it at 3 and then do probably another RFP after 3 years.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Any discussion or questions?
Peterson?
Yes.
Bab?
Yes.
Palage?
Yes.
Goods?
Yes.
Stuckey?
Yes.
Okay, item 7.1, board member announcements, future considerations. Just go around. Mr. Anderson, you want to start?
No, but just on that bus point, I'm trying to recruit a Middletown person yesterday that was a bus driver and told her she had to come up here. She retired, but she didn't want to work anymore. It's just hard. If everybody, who do you know who? If everybody just would say to somebody, I mean, if they know they're a bus driver, or maybe potentially, but we do need bus drivers. And we do need a raise, the pay, but one guy in my neighborhood's only 3 houses down in Springboro and he drives for 7 of them. So, anyway, but that's about it, that's all I have.
I had to look at my phone because I took a note while I heard it on the news this morning. I was just curious, with the, one of the things the governor had come out with was an initiative towards school safety, like having a center for it and monitoring social media. And I was just curious if we knew anything about how that might impact, like is there gonna be funds for the schools with this? Or how will we have, like is this gonna benefit us at all directly? Or is this just like at the state level? Have we heard anything?
No, there's been some safety grants that we've applied for. We're still waiting on hearing if we've gotten some, but I haven't heard of any just new dollars. I know of the wellness and the
Right.
increased
Yeah,
media.
you sent us that.
That's the only 2 new funding sources that have been approved to go down to the schools. So
Okay.
anything additional might be, there's something that's in the works that might be a supplement to what was just approved, but I haven't heard of anything other than grants.
It made me think about the thing that we had, and I think we still have with Warren County Career Center, where they, Scott, you had brought that to us, where
Yes.
they help monitor, do we still do that?
Yes, we
Social
do.
media?
Yeah, social sentinel is what it's called, and yeah, it monitors social media for any potential threats or keywords.
Okay, so will you just let us know if you hear, like if there, it seems like those 2 would work together.
Yeah, that's what, I've been listening to that and watching it and seeing if, if that continues down, is there still a need for social sentinel with that coming?
Yeah.
Or, what that would look like, but it's still pretty early.
Right, and it sounded like this was something brand new that he's just saying, this is so important, and one of the things he said was, if this is something you're gonna focus on, we're gonna have a person directly focused in, this is their whole job. So I just thought, well, that could be a great thing for us, to your point, maybe we don't need some of that, what we're doing in turn, like, doing to Warren County Career Center, if this is gonna do the same job. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think it's great that those are 2 things that I agree we do need to focus on, so I was encouraged by that. And to Mrs. Kolb, I appreciate you coming with some possible solutions to your questions with concerns with the busing, because those are very reasonable concerns, and just your willingness to have a task force or something. So thank you for bringing those and just the research behind those, so.
Because, and the demographic of the current bus drivers, I mean, there are several that are very close to retirement, and it's a crisis nationwide.
Yeah.
So I'd rather have us look at it now So
Yeah.
maybe we can do something for next year.
Sure.
So
No,
thank you.
So it's always great to come with some possible solutions because we have a great transportation department and I think that everybody wants to continue to look to see what we, can continue to do the best that we can, so, within the financial constraints, so,
Right.
yeah, so thank you for that. So, and once again, just thank you to Steve Rudisell and your church
You're good.
and
You
to
don't
the
have to keep
Optimist
thanking me.
Club,
You're good.
so, and to all of you guys who have just done an amazing job of hitting the ground running with, the fundraiser, so, that's it.
Yeah, so first of all, thanks for all the donations. Again, we've always been appreciative, and everybody in the community is always so generous to the district and now even other districts. So that's, always good to see. Thanks to Ms. Cole. I've got 2 kids in the district, and we've been having some conversations at home about the busing. So we understand. Again, I think as Ms. Babb mentioned, it's always a balance between our fiscal abilities and what we have to work with, but child safety is obviously a priority, and we've gotta make it work. So we've got some work to do internally, so we'll keep doing that. So thank you for your participation. That's all good.
Just echo, thanks for the donations, especially yours there is great. And, I'm sure we'll look into the bus situation and do what we can for it, so.
Yeah, I guess I would just echo what others have done. Thank you very much for coming tonight, Mrs. Colvin, sharing your thoughts and more than anything, I guess, for your willingness to be a part of the solution. So I really appreciate that. And thank you again. I would just reiterate our thanks to the individuals that, as Mr. Good said, support our district, but then also step up to support other districts as well. So I just think it speaks so highly of our community, and we see it time and time again, just the willingness to sort of rally to people in need. And so I just really just want to extend my thanks for the folks that have stepped up to help meet a need here in the local community. So with that said, are there any other announcements or future considerations? Okay, item 8.1 is executive session to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official, and conferences with the board's attorney to discuss matters which are subject of pending or imminent court action. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Just as a reminder, everything that's discussed in executive session should remain in executive session.
Stuckey?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Babb?
Yes.
Palage?
Yes.
Goods?
Yes.
Okay, there will be no action following the executive session. Thank you.